guys, Dylan Schumacher.
Daniel Richardson.
Citadel Defense. So, I've been thinking about this one for a couple weeks now, and I want to make this video. So I've come to the conclusion, and I'm not trying to be extreme or continue the polarization, but I've come to the conclusion that gun control is evil. And I want to explain what I mean by that. A couple days ago, a Democratic congressman out of California, whose name I cannot remember, I will link it in the description below, wrote an op-ed in USA Today, and he said, look, we should repeal the Second Amendment, we should do a gun buyback, we should offer $1,000 per assault weapon, and then we should go after resistors. Right? No one's coming for your guns. Remember that? So, here's a guy who's saying we should just straight up, we need to get rid of, and he's going after assault weapons, so where do you think that's going to go after they get all those, right? And we should just straight up get rid of it. We need to get rid of the Second Amendment, which I appreciate his honesty. Here's what I mean when I say gun control is evil. What I mean is, what you're saying at the baseline is, you, person that's sitting at home watching this video, do not have the moral right to defend yourself. That's really what gun control is boiling down to. You don't have the right to defend yourself against a criminal. You don't have the right to defend yourself against a tyrannical government. You do not have the actual literal right to self-preservation. And that's why I think that's evil. It's going against a basic human right of self-defense, self-preservation, right? You can go back through any law code for the history of mankind, and self-preservation has been protected in one form or another. It's only in this 21st century where we think, well, maybe it's better if the criminal just kills you. So that's what I mean when I say it's evil. It is eliminating one of your most basic human rights, right? And that's why I would say it's evil. Now, the second thing I want to add to that is, do I think, therefore, that people who push gun control are evil? I think the answer depends. Look, I think all those moms that are confused and moms demand gun action or whatever, Bloomberg propaganda machine, I think they're confused. I don't think they're evil, because I don't think they know what they're saying. And I think they've bought into something that sounds nice, but they have no idea what they're doing. I think the people at the top, this congressman who swore an oath to defend the Constitution and now wants to confiscate your guns, I think those people are evil. Like, I think there's an intentional, calculated, we're going to disarm the people here. And of course, they're always doing it under the guise of doing good, right? Mm-hmm. Adolf Hitler did things under the guise of doing good, you guys. All right, nobody ever comes out and says, "Oh, we want to put people in camps and murder about 6 million people." Like, no one ever says that outright. Okay, it's always under the guise of what's good. So that's really where I've settled on that. I'd like to hear your opinion. I'm not trying to be, like I said, extreme. I'm not trying to polarize things further, but really, I cannot get around the conclusion that if you want to take away my right to defend myself effectively, then that's evil. I mean, do you have anything to add to that? I can't see a different conclusion. Show me a different conclusion, and I'll change my mind.
I think the things that I would add to that are, I don't understand how people can't see the hypocrisy there, where it's my, like, as the congressman who wrote this bill, like, my idea and picture of the world supersedes anyone else's ideas or thoughts on things, and I know better than everyone else what they need, how to make the world a better place, and that just seems really arrogant and hypocritical to me. And then the other thing is, well, maybe I shouldn't say this, but they can go ahead and come for our guns. I'm not giving them up. I'm not, because in my mind that's retroactively standing up for people like what's going on in Venezuela now, where the government rules everything and people are being forced to vote for a president or they don't get food. You know what I mean? You disarm the populace and then you control them.
That's right.
Or like in England,
that's right. It's always how it
where
works.
people don't have the freedom of speech and you can make a Facebook post and they're going to come arrest you. So in my mind, your rights are only as good as the power you have backing them up. And that's one of the reasons the Second Amendment exists.
Yeah, I would wholeheartedly agree. And the irony to me is the people that often push gun control are protected by armed guards, right? Mm-hmm. That's always cute.
Yeah, it's kind of what I meant by the hypocrisy.
Yeah. Like, I mean, it's ridiculous.
Right, and someone like that is just so removed from some of the people we get in our class who live in bad neighborhoods, don't have a high income, and need a gun to really protect themselves and their family. And then you have this, rich white guy who's probably got armed guards saying, "No, you guys don't need your guns."
Yeah.
It's just frustrating.
I mean, when it comes down to it, guys, you are on your own. And I don't mean to be, like, dismissive. I don't mean to be depressing. But, I mean, look, no one is coming. And if they are coming, if the police are coming, which, okay, all right, let me clarify. Someone is going to come help you. But they're going to be there in 5 minutes. And if they get there in 5 minutes, you could be dead in 30 seconds.
If you're in a good neighborhood, right? And if you're of the socioeconomic status that they care about you.
If you're out in the middle of Wyoming, you might be 40 minutes away. If you're in a bad part of Chicago, they might not come at all. And so in that moment, no one is coming to help you. It's up to you. And that's what I mean. You have to be ready to go. And having a gun is part of that. You know, if you ever watch active self-protection videos, right, the great video breakdowns, how often does a bystander step in? And the answer is super rarely. When it comes down to it, you're on your own.
Right.
And for someone to say then you don't have the right to actually be equipped for that moment, I think that's baseline evil.
Yeah.
Baseline evil.
Yeah, it's a wolf in sheep's clothing to the extreme, and one of the things I keep telling Dylan and that we've been conversing about lately is that in my mind this gun control debate really boils down to whether you think the world is okay or whether you think it's not.
Yep.
And for people like us who believe the world is not okay and it's very broken, then it's asinine to want to remove firearms because that problem is never going to change. Those people who think we've evolved, now we're in the 21st century, we actually have good governments and they're going to look out for people, that's just horseshit. It's not going to happen. That's not how the world works.
Basic human nature has never changed.
And so for someone to understand that and still want to disarm the populace is just, it's evil.
If you want my guns, you can come take them. I'll be here minding my own business.
Yep.
Until then, do brave deeds and endure.